indeed ope will be what to know was you Aquama NPP pa Chairman Abronye a Kahumpa. What did you make? Yani Binumo Kana and Abronye is the only person in 2016. He has to be summoned before a Bonohemfo. He has to be summoned before a Bonohemfo. And the idea what they call Bono. Not a mema uradem. Because that time, not a Mampenny Rifri Bono. Not electoral commissioner, no one knows watching no a former electoral commissioner, a Feligai, oh Bono. Na ya watching Jai. Ewo na I see don't get here na Sami Jamfi ho almost NDC penyim fo bebrebe no nyina free bono bravo ana abronye nkoa soligina ye possibly wone yenu apanyi kireme soliye ana pepa enti ye kan ye den ene nkodin a abronye akoama ya a deliberate attempt say ombetutu ye ntaban ene ye nema nyina na NDC fo betimi agya wo mon krofo wa be ka kire yen ye say yen hwe abronye nyini abronye ani nso ade hwan ne ni nso ade chen NDC fo na omo wo ho no entia na party a Rollins ati edi ni moja assign the constitution party the constitution e say dunketi aka chen so ye back and dog is he not the national chairman of the NDC? One can't say Obia or Dini Muja at tea party no. In fact, Mammy could not watch my Rollins. One na Betty so and na NDCC at a point in 2000 near PCG elections in free NDC in Zemno. Now we have to bring Rollins any Mammy could not watch my Wally editor from 20 your campaign in 2000 I contact January bar. Aye. Because now 31st December Women's Movement say Oba Kurukasi Mudia, Oba Kasanyakwe, Ukun Krasia 31st December Women's Movement was the problem for the NPP. Now my minute up form or BN Ghana, why you formidable organization now a year working so efficiently and so perfectly at 31st December Women's Movement. Sure. It did not woman back in our form. And I idea near Dinga Kuntaye Jimmy Abba Sana, your mama, I made a campaign, a brass winning couldn't change, and yet made the winning elections in the 2000. Woman Numpu, Abraham, I mean, I could not my car say, or pay the national the running meet for the NDC. Woman Rosunan, one in Kuna, Womoти, party, a do Mumujano, Mahwa, party, Womo Rosunan, near Boda Womo Pine, will be a Catanini, NDC for it in the country in Crawford, be an inside, and Crawford, yes. The two woman Crawford, more bumpy, Monka two money, running in a Yurula Okra, will be a home. Enti me ye nuano mo a omo wo bono se abronye ye penasem papa de oye ma ye bia ye ta na chi e be ya aboa MPP ye de be ya no mo na ye politics me ba lawyer so baton omo be ye hunu na sa do be ye ya 2024 bo omo bo ye no ena ye de bo ma mo fa soja fo na hwan just MPP the time ye agent ena omo perform match fo bo omo bo ye see ye kwa ya waso ah na omo kire so omo de claim so omo de e majority kwa ya waso west me say ye jai de egu wo makofu mo be good am anu ma yo ma so ndo be bas wasana and how dare you speak against see do get emma so me say adia Sam George ejina park no so ye no whole police commander he attempted so obo papa na so senkana ye soldier fo soldier fo na ko attempted so obo mu commander so ma enka no ko very regret say no ye MP we be qualify ho ko ye dey see this man there you know MP na said ya ne say wo to twede wo abonte ye we nyina wie ye no na omdo mum ekọ form vigilante no ena omde ba attack ye no ma beje GC every yensem afa no south east ne wone nam so wo be wale nkola no so na basa sa no omde GC ena ne omoto wono mum de kawe they say macho ni ya de niam bia ba be fram ho na eno ane se obi hu ana ya se wudi se de be ya ho nya kono Enfama party for Sano Sukromo Betua Bamawa. Hey, no court case. Enti ye bet me to Abama ni dignity say Hunkwa and Abom over the AS Hardian. They've succeeded with chairman want to be said because he will be no and I say party for the be a year high a yomweni and then one after the other almost twice so I'm sorry and you know no what do you mean also
yo man keke
Santi na tamaklo
yo me da say your friend Akwabi George Oma Bemi Sylvester or can be now say when a nation pardons its criminals faster than it rewards its heroes, it teaches the next generation that corruption is not a crime but a career. Sir George Sylvester will not much was saying when a nation pardons its criminals faster than it rewards its heroes. Say Omaino or try say Omomaya bone for semno or the better woman. Name achen one more masom men te said ya wa wosom men as a journalist ye bebo akromfo ehun ban ne abo mabaso edan se mo amosom men heroes a mo masom men no it yes ade ne dia na it teaches the next generation that corruption is not a crime but a career ebema nchirima behunu se dwurumudie enye bone na emom eye adwuma. I mean, can be more when a nation pardons its criminals faster than it rewards its heroes, it teaches the next generation that corruption is not a crime but a career. When a nation pardons its criminals faster than it rewards its heroes. So minor, yes, ye be jai abone for, and as ye bobo abone for abaso a chain omu ye heroes abaswa ebema enchirima ebe hunu se bone fosem enya bone na emom eyeden eye adwuma. When a nation pardons its criminals faster than it rewards its heroes, it teaches the next generation that corruption is not a crime but a career. George Sylvester or George Omabemi Sylvester. You see, a didn't American sir. So be the bonnia. Yes, technicalities won't hear Jan uncle. Me a lawyer no be because e didn't na lawyer o kasa sa anya mra na yeka he omra esan mra no so common sense ka ho enti na mra no ubon se ye wanyansani baako enyansa form yensa enyansa phone ade enti na timi konti the mere fact that wo ye lawyer no akọ first court of first instance ani e ka no ye lawyer for court of first instance wadi kan call na yabu atia wo no ara wadi nkonim no say wo san akọ court for na dane a na chese court no ye incompetent ana upon which basis and they assess will be so incompetent. You compare court decision, one court decision to another court decision, and some yet actually will be a competent. And I say, a right to say every lawyer be able court to be from the lowest court to the highest court to be dibimana. That is the question you need to ask yourself. This is a fallacious remark, a fallacy of hasty conclusion, a fallacy of hasty generalization. The mere fact that Godfrey Odamye dibim na wakwa api na wadi for no e said Godfrey Dame incompetent. Is that what the NDC is telling the good people of Ghana? And I see that statement to be a fallacious statement, a fallacy, a mistake, error, a fallacy of hasty conclusion, hasty generalization. Now my mention Court of Appeal should be my mistake because so we read this section 31(1)(2) of the Court Act with all due respect all the phone crab about moment amako to section oh boy ebe yama section 31 of the Court Act 31(1) of the Court Act in the 31 who the use to no 31 now the bracket atum 31 bracket open 2 to off Court Act and I say Act 459 oba ebecha wa de kra section 31(2) of the Court Act and I say Court Act na no one friend Act 459 of Ghana. Or say it mandates that an appellate court must dismiss a criminal appeal if the legal challenge is based purely on a procedural technicality. If the legal challenge is based purely on a procedural technicality, provided that a substantial miscarriage of justice has not occurred and there is a clear evidence supporting the crime. I heard you know the person watching and say, say criminal appeal o bo ato agua say ye enema nketenke bi the procedural error ne technicalities nketenke bi na ba charge sheet so a enyina so mfa mo asem no nemum hwede substantial miscarriage of justice, whether a wrong person was charged. When I say substantial miscarriage of justice, enema be mi my Mr. Dinam, on any nipa was here charging whether a wrong person has been charged. And I say, my Mr. Dinam, ya man a fair trial, a bread in the Bejina Hono. Your friend, on one bar court no Jana Koye. Your friend, and I see idea some ya man a quaint, I'm a yenti na seminar, your pamo no man a koya, and I say, why mahwa, and then your friend a substantial miscarriage of justice. And then your friend a substantial miscarriage of justice. Enti dia court no pese court act no pese wo kire woni say enhwe enyeman kitinkiti bi e wo charge sheet so me patcho act no hwe ni yo section 31(2) of the court act 459 the can say we are court or appellate court no don't throw out the case, dismiss the case on the basis that there is what procedural error and technicalities on the charge sheet. And this a charge sheet na nyama bi anko yi wa charge sheet ne so nketenkete a me mbo asem no. In any case, ma me sam tamaklo no tama no na ne lawyers a defense or is a technicalities wo hono ma adenti no man raise the right time. No ma twen am adi asem ni wi afi no mo de ko. Now a lead to substantial miscarriage of justice ana. Ghana for sika 90 million ayira. Ya charge no the law on causing financial loss to the state to the tune of about 90 million Ghana cedi taxpayers money. Men church for my maslok sika ana Ghana ban akofa amount for taxpayers. Me no mienu nyina sika na de ama maame sedinam. Ese 5 bobo ema omo odwom bosia. Watam bi de akoma bank bi ese wanye ama wildings nwatu wudi bi kwa ha bank ni discount cry bro as fegu Ghana must go bag me nefa bre me. Go bank ni ya ma check cry se check me mpe. Sikana yira $90 million and a court of appeals on Fanhuni. So the point is, says Sikano, a helifa, why near the man? Now, you have the law on causing financial loss to the state. In the case of Republic versus Woyomi, court on the kind, ingredients are the charge substantial miscarriage, the charge causing the law on causing financial loss to the state. Also, one, has the state lost some money? State in a free state in someone. If the answer is yes, let us when you nipanato. And the Ghana loses can be over 90 million Ghana cedis. Yes. Kiki say yes, I know I catch. Yes. Now, was it the negligence act of the accused person and the man says can I run now? Mammy said the name near this canija a man no say one person why not you been a Mexicano ayana. If the answer is yes, sir, causing financial loss to the state, a betchano. Now, yes, uncle, the third one. Did he foresee ese ampa sa de ne disika yira na beba kwan ofa so disika na mo bi na de yira na beba na? If indeed she foresaw ese indeed e kwan ofa so disika na be yira de a, then it means that yes wasenya na ache no. Now if mama said dinam e put two measures in place a good measures in place and ka disika na yira beba one fast sa measures na put in place a sa ingredients we na just safrenum no musteti wo Ibrahim Adams any Republic versus Woyomi no musteti ingredients we na ni nyina ache wo mo na do mo kogu mu and causing financial loss to the state o de emfa bibia nto nche law no ba ko pred no mafa and the court of appeal say eno so mfa no nkodi. Now
the other kind of procedural
error and read this section 31(2) of the court act say keke wan hwe ni ya mensan kan biom section 31(2) of the court act, dismissal of technical objection. If an appeal relies on a minor, harmless or procedural error rather than a substantive issue, the court will dismiss it if evidence supports the guilt. Now, for one, no said the 31(2) an appellate court must dismiss a criminal appeal if a legal challenge is based purely on what? Based purely on substantial miscarriage of what? Justice. But not on minor errors. In the charge sheet from socket to a biabem, na say particulars of offense na could take it to a bia and into waja obi. Law no, common sense a law no so can. Although we are all servant of the rules and we need to worship the rules. as was said by a retired jurist, Justice Atuguba, in the case of Republic versus Alfred Agbesi, Republic versus Dan Abu Dhabi. But the point is, based on error kitwebia, Osi Abacha sheet muntino, where Jai Mami said the name as a onko. $90 million now. Yadija no. Any funny yakofesika no. Free. The good people of Ghana, Ebusa Attorney General, Kwanbenso na befa so this canabre. Something that
and Okobisa NDC for Zita Maklo. Journalists be aware don't Kobisa saying question ya into Sikado Afedia na Dania Timidi.
Eti mami misa say
that is what Fedi.
The same thing na omo ye Alfred Agbesi Woyomi 531 million Ghana cedis. Alfred Agbesi was squander money ni nyina. Emma judge bi kura abet ajet na sam. Or say we ye purely ayi no omo ye state create loot and share. And no more chase can into no so be 1 million Ghana cedis. Say so ma create no more loot, no more share there, or no so as a judge, or je 1 million Ghana cedis. Into a ye and anase kwache no, and yes no. It way a clear say and no muja when my music question say who empanels the 3 justices of the Court of Appeal and more transam so. When ya no in any pamiensa no more matanaso. Is it not the Chief Justice? Yeah. Say Chief Justice never empanel judges 3 and more matanaso. And when empanel and Chief Justice. Yeah. Chief Justice ne ni patreno so mon kotanaso. Proud to that, near was shadow minister. I will in charge of Sanyama Winina, your friend Bafo, our Menshia Honum MP. Udikaka say information okutane say aban so one befa so dia kokko to bi na mama court na eden eja no no mu wia no header yet say the all file appeal no de akono na no so eja maame no na che so mu nipa no manya. Now if said your kan ne ye no kra mehwe ye de atem bi ho ne yapone ne ye de atua bi ho aban the conduct of this Attorney General clearly I said Dr. Sremsai oni ayini. I mean no disrespect to him. Ade a omo ya ne say asem bia ye besi wa ban bia no nipa no po wasi wa ban no de minim throughout your criminal jurisprudence ni nyina de minim ne say aban bia wusiw no simple di fompo no a ono betena se mempo di fompo na obe file affidavit in opposition obe challenge we yina wa file ne nemra no obe da challenge obenya grounds so agina so challenge wo nemom so hwe na nim guase e ba na nko no watena se aban we di obi file suit titi aban na no akọ support to say nipa kro eno na aban we ye opa he no adamte omoko support si enu special prosecutor ne office ana nyame ma ni twabo o ma ne the Supreme Court eye yadoma wanwu office no eno krampo no tumi ode ama no no se Attorney General betimi revoke bibia enti na we wagu no aban we clearly stipulated ana so san hwe sa ayi we are written submission we blame owura Godfrey Dame but you must say written submission be na you see so we appealer all records of appeals ni nyina no including proceedings na a course wo a court of first instance high court one obe transmit ni nyina sa records ni nyina to the court of appeal enti wo de kwa e ho no mo kɔhwɛ mfomso a eba mu nyina no mahwɛ mu na lawyer no nso a oya appeal no ordinary written submission aka ho na ode kɔ de nti office mara no ebi a court we yahu ni ye nti emu ama ono ni nipa no onko Attorney General so we defend aban also do written submission ebekɔ written submission no and now bet you say law na aha ni ha sana ya lawyer for you be case ayede ko obi aye written submission no bet you say case we kire say court ni DB kire say we say written submission be no or de ko ye on for written submission meto public domain no bi ankan bi say written submission or de ko ye no so ya be favor state na say o sheda ye no kokro da john Attorney General I'm throwing a challenge to Urasrim Sai this afternoon. As a unfan and written submission, our yeah, na yen can be near Remera would not so say, my said, I'm not the but I make a choice section 31(2) of the court act clearly stipulated. A chess technical, some minor errors, the wrong, charge sheet, no minor mistakes, our charge sheet, no cannot lead to dismissal of someone, but unless leading to substantial miscarriage of what justice. Substantial miscarriage of justice. No, two main things. Pa na obi hu no ba kon ye. One, if a wrong person is charged. Say bia nipa no kra nyo no ana mo charge no nyo no na sika no aye na mo charge na substantial miscarriage of. So enya fair trial. Ebra ye di asem no. Ya mfrene se bra court ya nsevo no. Ya ma na ehunu ne bone awaya eno so timi mem. But ye musi an say the questions ma me said nam. ono na ekura sika 90 million na cheche ya na ase wono hwan na de che eti ana sa 90 million no Ghana for bede no mo nsa kasika no. You see the conduct of the Attorney General no and na bemu hunu say unless a constitutional review we no omayi Attorney General's office na fira ban na nya ban na point Attorney General sa ban no gusu point Attorney General de ne ba de a yanka hu say state yo aban ni mu nipa bia di sika obema na ko we are the sufferers. I'm telling you.
Mate, ansa me crossover na makwa agema in China. Still on this. Na baby asa kwa koye bibi e wo ho. Eye time omo de file appeal. And ade no kra no omo file no May 2024. And they were ade judgment no ba somewhere in April 2024. Omo say o hwe eye Dominic Ayine, Dr. Dominic Ayina, ada yes or file for stay of execution, and it must be noted. Adiano, somewhere 2024. Be one go for damage to say. BBS.
You see, we are Apina was our master notice of Apina was our sable Attorney General Nibi. Time bang or go for dame. As in Yadia almost several Nibi. Or no hot is so my api, but yam far p copy Nibi. I'm a several Attorney General. Etulim or the infant say appeal or appeal biana a 1 month for criminal cases. The criminal cases be or right of appeal within 1 month. It is a 1 month in Ukraine. We wait to call for extension of time within which to appeal. In the extension of time, no obeba babe e be obesa ade another 1 month to crack on. Until infant say wako 2 months. Unlike civil cases now and over 3 months. Another 3 months besa be count civil cases no. But when it comes to criminal appeal na 1 month. Na additional 1 month say be kra BBC wo kwan wako. At the time e jeli mame tamaklo no. Minim say o the appeal ni tuma. O the emfa ne say into 2024, 2025, 2026 wa anya appeal na neche say we need the right of appeal. E bi matwam wa waive the right. However, emfa ne say of file no within 1 month na 1 month no. E di enti no man serve Attorney General no. Na sa amre na Attorney General na mfa ne written submission in the BBA so anko saa time no mo twenye na NDC pension obe ayi ode okosebo Attorney General e ho ye question e wo so ubusa saa se mo medi kan no e bi ma me kan se ma me tedi nam obe twenya ma NDC aba ansa no akwa api ma me a typical example ye owura chachuchi kata ebra okoda mu no otwenya be ya api no wa NDC pension owura ma ayi obeye no His Excellency John Dramani Mahama pension ene koye na Justice Denis Ejei ejina amra so no so edija no emra no yusu ye de but the DMT the question me musa me blame judge no the question me busa ne say I ho no gina asa na ne lawyer ni ho ahwan ni nyina nti wode aja no ane di buan for the question me busa say adenti na owura chachuchi kata at that time no wan kwa api no NPP pension edenti it means that a bind control Attorney General system a bind control judges ne kakra. So the point is, a DNT one course happy in our own corner, I bind a doom to my bomb train.
Say, how can you say the President Mahama say, can you Furia Tadi and unfortunately, Judge no Ghana?
Why am Becca Simbi say Chief Justice, Menan Kamen call appearance and come the appeal Betumba Metomebo. And a Chief Justice, Equa appeal, me can't say stated misbehavior and upon MPP Mra. Enti appeal bi wa kwa no aposo kakra no challenge ne ba bia na de twa MPP aba MPP ba omo so ba agu ba o se me ka se okwa omo ba nunu omo ba bona ma wa hwe ama me no obe bere ama no agyae ampa okwa ye nyina na omo bo no buga. So the point is enipa no Chief Justice no aban na de ne bae eye dan ya aban wo influence kakra mitimi ka se Chief Justice no until say sa Chief Justice no eye neutral body bi na appoint Chief Justice ne de na ba. Because in as much as a Chief Justice no, a ya binding the neighbor no. Say unanimous FC na President Mahama kan maybe no. I see a court ni na unanimous FC no. Let's just say, my sure. I didn't in a man President Mahama kan unanimous FC. At the time na adodan kwa kufuado, the 4 judges ako Supreme Court. And so say 4 judges na emu nipa baako ewu. May he so rest in perfect peace. Justice Mafusaw. Na wa bempa wa chere civil procedure. Ewo law school o kire wona ne book kra wa nkire wade na afa ne book kan na procedure no wahu na de kro enti exams bi aba utimi so wo control so justice mafusa aha owu etu owu ye no ana justices miensa enso call retirement enum na president Kufuado appointed for e de ko share o manan e ho no president Mahama ka kire nso mo ye unanimous FC enumu na ono ba ya wape point 10 edeko aka 3 edeko so who point nti he who seeks equity must do equity and he who comes to equity must come with clean hands etu won say ade bi won ma say his excellency President Mahama any ni team na ya na nya e was here condemn no. There is no sense, it leads to absurdity. There is no sense in say you betimi agya obi ama na kone 90 million nyina ase na agina mra nko aso common sense. Supreme Court nya ba bia no de law ya adwuma wo. Supreme Court ade bi o mbeka bia no e common sense kro de law ne kan o mbenya mra ne de agina so. Supreme Court person de pepepe you betima ka test ma me said ma and I'm say technical errors aba you know so there by yesterday sika na nam so na ba ekutua. Supreme Court can do that. Because they have the right to do that. Omo jurisdiction omo timi ye bibia. The Supreme Court enti enye me nwanwa say ne constitutional review no omo de abeshim say all criminal appeals and civil appeal bia me emfa court to bia enko Supreme Court. Eno omo de abeshim.
But the lawyer Evans Osei Bunsu actually law no emu enti NDC for na obia se wakan judgment ni bi no 94-page document and NDC ni bia se wakan bi and I said the meaning say that the be kind judgment no and I'm ajuma
okay 1 minute ma men kan be bi ntro oba interpretation wo act na me kan no say alternative conviction powers
section 31
no 31 2 say the clause allows for upholding convictions based on the evidence available, even if there is a conditional statement here, even if a component of the charge is technically flawed, the clause allows, that is the test, allows for upholding convictions based on the evidence available. Evidence no I available say una this kind of una de kwaya what cause negligence or negligence ameskanayra causing financial loss to the honko ache mame no. Conviction based on evidence available, even there is a conditional statement, even if a component of the charge is technically flawed. So a component of the charge may be a technically flawed crana based on the substantial evidence na down. SSC can 90 million na de koye ne ade no. Causing financial loss to one kweti me cho.
500,000 ede yi efie raso abeba akweti we did free.
Also Facebook.
Yo.
Oko Facebook. Yes. And this can
we dey sika free.
And am dey make answer Mahama mo de yeka. E wo se sa aka no mutua.
Ajmai. Anu no bi ko bisa jana na jiti tamakulu u bedina tap say journalist here refresher course that what you here refresher course but to the akasa Ajmai why or this can do free
do baby awo o man chichiri ni amanyo menye lawyer ni I'm more into leadership what did they major o man chichiri ni amanyo si epesi ya ye many pe hu se de no korenity. What did they major no? Let us tell the people the truth at the NDC. When people decide on their own volition, say they will choose the wrong thing, you told them the truth. And allow your sanity. Yes. Can no correct you nipa say, a dear way, uwoni nenkwani, and ukre womuni. Say nipa ni na jitu mu say ani, ye pebone enwa. Allow them to use it. That is the beauty of democracy. And no dear. Na wa ohoro nse film so na ekoba kataso miemia so se nipa mpeso mo beka nokore se ye Apollo dia so de de mechoro enne yenkoni yenkokamu nokore ne se eye asemesi dia eno de yenwasa wasa nokore na ama yenya ye wo man no munyina no na obi aka che se ye perfect slaves ye yenkoa ye hoahoa yen. You don't know you are a slave, but you are a slave. And now, Chuchu ni bin so ka say, now why a fire? We second class citizen. What ka say? Why you never you say far? Who dear woman no can home, but on count. So now, said the name 10 macro as I will say, ask you, lawyer, if there was an appeal pending, and probably the Attorney General then say, no, ya seven. What it means in say court today say obi be file appeal na say there also respondent na me respond na ka court no betimi abua ana
no the attorney said so file appeal na notice of appeal ni bibia why no esa ko serve respondent no Enti respondent na okwa 7 which is Attorney General no e was 7 into 7 na demo a court no de obetimi kra de akose ne dai na da ho anase court no be mo hearing notice na de akose ebo mo ese koye hearing notice fa mo maye bi e wo high court but na men several respondent no enti me ko bia na akwaji date na da ho enti obetimi agi date obe opeso a onkoso na kose ne dai ohun sa aban ne free so a no trigger e na start be ye you know okose ebo notice na ma Attorney General we no ana why hearing notice asem na eba so dey say nti what Attorney General afi na obehwe ne onu so notice of appeal na the grounds a woye no wo agina so na so aye written submission enso de amount no ne de no na fi judges na kohwe both written submission no na o ma rely ba ko de what you say a lawyer for a judge for ni nim de but a lawyer for no ye written submission na boa wo mo because e bia na sebe ne law no kra ne refi ba bia ohwe sa written submission na otumu say emra no say de we si kono no but no na be hu written submission kra Attorney General we na ono blemu owura gofedo dame no ono na be handle ye no ono ye written submission enti written submission be no ono ye de call ye sa bre no ogina so se maame tamakulu odifo enti emfa no kotum na section 31 of the court act kra kire say the mere mistake I wo charge sheet no mo no ntimi maye nya no but ye hwe the substantial miscarriage of justice said enu siya ana say evidence na wo ho no nyina no e wo so because appeal is a matter of rehearing versus bosom
and the
Supreme Court kind what you have versus bosom
at the current was say me busa that question me say there was 2 courts and a what samataimu there was a Ghanaian court and there were US court so did them journal any panel we needed an extradition order say US for be extraditing ni pakrono e de naba Kenofuriata case no US court tena so no omo si omo hwehwe asemu no eye political persecution
ho mema o ayi kakra ho the difference between Mame Tamaklo no say Mame any Owura Kenofuriata no Mame Tamaklo enye citizen of United States but Owura Kenofuriata abeye citizen of the United States but before US edi ni nipa ono ye citizen be ma no ye wo dual criminality principle dual criminality principle na US use ne say e wo say US hu say bone kro na e wo Ghana e ye bone ma omo emere mu nso wo US ana o hwem no hu say sa bone na wo de to no so no US law no enye sa bone ne dia omfa ne ma ba ma Tamaklo de adata mo nye citizen ti Ghana so mu hia na eno so ye wo sa reciprocity no sa dual reciprocity principle a eno so no yetimi de ne brewo e ma ne ma enti musimu hia mu nipa na mo de koma ehwa Attorney General no obetimi de akọ court na wahwe ahunu se ampaye mfa ne mana na
na we say pedi ajuma ebisa no obu keep in detention since January or so
court
yeah it says since January yeah
I was say you didn't bagana
yes
yes because I almost was na
yes you didn't court US
yes
and the US car said it was so bagana over serve sentence
I think it was detention since January or so somewhere in January
the slight difference what no mienu a me pesa me kire mu ekakrama oti asense no se oman bi ka se ohia ni nipa na ne se nipa na oba be fa no se Mame Tamaklo onye citizen wo US ho
understood
first of all
no I will do so but be call
anyone ban you say the
yes
Mate anima afromentio
enti satam no a Attorney General we e de ne bae no said the na wo ka se e wo so wordinary written submission si ba me e kan bi no so when me amfa sa written submission na ma me ka de ato wo de no so na ne Attorney General we no e wo say yen so ye charge no for every causing financial loss knowing very well say it was not a good case you kwa be lose why would you let us spend our money near the beko akwa extradition only for any pan beba now beba bi jan Ghana
some NPP trigger that NPP triggers extradition process no
and wo ba e no wo hunu say ade no say case nenye ye beba bi ye de ni beduru kra ye be yi no and wo na ya aban futufo emra mu futufo enti you ought to advise aban say case no say ye kase ye die sika kwa akodi akira and same say ni bitimi esi so did they make sure no and na wa me die sika akodi akira na asisi enti na say Dr. Dominica eni ye ba ye bitimi abuta ne nsem kakra
ye bebusa no
ye bitimi abuta ne nsem kakra again double key Year Omayi Mamini no. Not a predetermined. Yes. Me because Martin Pebu, what I was that platform, lawyer Martin Pebu. And let nobody underestimate the power of lawyer Martin Pebu say on your lawyer ni papa. For anybody to be able to lie as well as he lied, you know. Next, what did them John? And it me chantro consistently, we chantro. So lawyer etiwe we decided say asimbia ba na onka mu nokora he knows at every point the waka ebeto asum because we nim nokora no Martin Peru etina afidie so e ka say wonokora na ye no nwanwa sese di nam mai na se di nam ba ya e na ko betwa 1 year bi anka president kola bitimi apaden no
and the party na was so
ntinkum be jai no. What did they make you know? In leadership, it me test waters. But Martin Peru is an assigned NDC communications team member. Me fan say a social commentator and say he communicates for the NDC.
Yes.
And you bet me about test waters with such messages just to see the reaction of the people. So did they make you know? Or the cancer ask them no. Any jina and call to umkujano because na omo who say Martin people cancer ask them no reaction from the public no wasn't any tina eba umjano ebe bibia. And woma hwe no umudi jano. Again, and somewhere omujina so a omujai maame no no. Vis-a-vis and somewhere omujina so a omode chama wuntimi kotomu no. Wo checking nsem ni mienu a Nene ebeye wo nwanwa pa se judge bi betimi atena se aka cheche ma wuntumi se wongodem. What did they make you know? Lawyer Martin Pebu at one breath say chema wuntumi e manager no e ne ka say chema wuntumi e ka kire no. That was an oral contract between chema wuntumi and the manager no. Fine, assuming there was an oral contract which I agree said there could be an oral contract. Two parties and oral contracts. I can't say and I binding as an oral contract. How can you use one as a witness against the other? Enti na a prosecution na no gina so na any dey hini because any panel on any oral contract no ono wo begina dwuma ba be ka no one cannot be a witness. Is he a witness?
Yeah, in a so here law no ma at times we bet me deny a witness but the tendency if the person is on oath so or swear oath then the statement we can be relied on. But that is the most dangerous aspect of our criminal jurisprudence because our bind target no se muye nipa mienu munyina na maye bone baba akopɛ na because of article no to me no article 88 no on the initiate criminal proceedings or person obesa jaw and civil proceedings no enti se nipa mienu aye bone a obetima ka cho say we meja no me de na ye witness atia we nko na me hwe. That is the most dangerous aspect to me de na no me ye me masem that is the most dangerous aspect
ehon na sebi nyansa ni nimde ye wo se kasa because nipa mienu anya asem. What did they make you know? The third party no no yabelusu no as witness against whom to me. What did they make you know? You know. No momu and asem na esi won ne ntem. In the first party now no was it no wo ba me ko adu no me ni asem bia. Enti se judge ni ko gina so se enu nti nipa mienu akwa afa. Ba akwa be di adanse ama ba ko nti nipa mienu akwa afa na eye wuntumi nko a. That's miscarriage of justice. Aname boa because wuntumi enye attorney general bibia. If there was anything that has happened there, it has happened between wuntumi and the manager no. Aname boa. So if there is a witness and can also witness near another third party I that say all by the can't manager ne can be aname boa. There again manager no I catch ya me ati say wa catch ya me ati say ono eduru baabi no o mo catch ya say ontwene hu frasem no mu because enkrofo bi na aye wo madwene say o mo de wuntumi betum. Have you heard that?
I don't know. Say another tape about involving a court
interview. One can say no my friend. Say
yes about Grante.
Say man na twen hu frasem no mu ne say na o ma catch then say ye no ma yo madwene say o mo de wuntumi betum. Enti no onyi no free case we see. What did they make you know? And he said, "Oh, share ansem ni mienu a, oh share said the name Tamakru. Na okoti say the same Martin Pebo no any NDC lawyers ne or more communicators. Kase said the name the no. You need written documentation via the former Attorney General. Ejina aso say okoji sika no wo yaji na hearsay asem ne yeka. Chama won't me the enye hearsay. Where is the written documentation contractor? Chama won't me ne be man sign. And if enono e hearsay necessary na de na ono what the
question na srem side also utie srem side interview or grant here to TV3 na just or patch say obo no kro mo ni evidence bi o based on wound to me obo de
na said na mo nso no said na mo no sika no okoje no filling station won wound deny so anko what is there
was no rating the lawyer said there was no written acceptance letter.
What must so acceptance letter corona more written notification to build a stronger a case said the name there. Where is the written notice judge in the build a stronger case against whom to me? And the media minister name yasem uncle. The same thing, and I was saying to me, Zumujano. The same thing also Zumujano. Uncle, you are Obieska. When you hear the words of it in the say, or no crown podia or the Nisika Koyuma. What do you want? Another question. Let me
maybe preaching. Operation recover all loot. To me, and your operation recover all loot. Now, send it up the other.
I operation steal from somebody.
Bigger loot. Me send it up there. Bigger loot to the
me scientific attorney general nano. When our house was outside a year me yapa. Say, Umubusa and say, attorney general, Umubusa and say, Adentina. Nipa na okoya ade na nkasa no yam prosecute ni bia woso wono no de ofofete ni properties e de na say attorney general
prosecute say
obaso kire say
no so call about custodial sentence but no say e ho kra law ne ma kwan for plea bargaining e ho hankasa mpo no e call for custodial sentence punishment is severe plea bargaining e minor e na obetima plea bargaining
enti dia me can say said the damn case no eye o ma dwene nti onu mbeja no enu omu ja no so what did they make sure no enti emra nya adwuma wo man mu biem lawyer akasa bebre
agency ni onu de na ni abre pa e bia hono na lawyer o se na di abre okofo ade chensu ana court legal vacation
be wu ni pa judge se be wi be se ja no akasa ma ye adwuma wi me ko na supreme court
adentina tebia o be bia sa se bia nso bia ntete adwula
ai oh yes. Yeah.
Even with
the Sadina, now landmark cases, yeah, society no the question. I did court. Sorry, no
court on court na superior court no court holiday vacation.
Double K.
Now you go something and I feel that no, I'll fall for stay for execute. Now what job plea bag only prosecute one filing. What is difference? I didn't say Mr. Lawyer can say we starting when lawyer we me perceive a quote full and sense so. Intimate person make be but the point in any say, hey, wajai Corinth Dauda. I catch and so on fee a 5,000 I will see 1,001. Wajai Abdado for what did them
60-40?
Wajai Upuni. What did them journal? Wajai Papa was in Doom and machine Crofusicano. Wajai no. Atoforcing. Atoforcing. The worst of it all. Atoforcing. And no quadie. So I never become Adiacha. Met me a Amadiachi. The worst of it all. Atoforcing to me Nibemo da. Never anywhere. And say in procurement of goods. If the conformal to specifications, and yet to the standard as agreed upon by the SPP, there, what the BAPE you know, enti omodi ade ni beduru ya na ambulance no bibia ni mo no ultimately there is no law under procurement or both the red book and the green book say obetumi aka akire obi say onkonko ye ni mere ye
na sense kan nyina ashim company na
never adwuma be you know entina ministry of procurement director no woman timi prosecute no
yes
because okoduru na wo hu say ambulance ni nya yi na and we use procurement law no ka kire say no onje
company na first kan
and no kura hampo no ma discontinue case enti basa we ma attorney general me kan kire say crocodile john wo ye what did them jono we jana one dey wonya no yes you be ka file appeal supreme court na said enti na mbusa was asem no mama ne na ho said na mo nsa
on ka said that ho
but that's papa pajma but law still na wo hwe eye NDC abanya and America say Sadina Tamaklu the area very bad case in Tino. So Bokoche that is miracles a ship. Yeah, that's about tactics. No, oh, yeah, who actually but there be almost by Sadia. See, said the last I don't know what I may know can tribunal no and some sister. You said one or so and with a year Dennis miracle the year person the kata near Masui. Yeah, kono catch will be so big 5 accounts, bank accounts here one secure them no eventually I said 5 secure be but who secure the club display crowd about 30,000 crowd endu so sir near man no mo yene with tribunal that as I say and one no me focus double still, because what you are drama. You see,
presumption of innocence until proven otherwise. No, meaning their court to be here because Article 19(2)(c), presumption of one of the cardinal year where the 1992 Constitution, all persons are presumed to be innocent until proven otherwise. Obi any for. No bia dibim kopim se court no bebu anofo. What is the essence of freezing obi account?
Freezing, yes.
Man ni fie enyina wo se mo mfa ne nansi wo ne fie no abeya wodan. At the end of the day it's a miracle odi what so make attempt so okoton fie no. So wo indication bi se ne fie no okwa akoton a na wo freeze no. Wo freeze a na chese fie okro ntimi nko. Nti emfa ne se ne fie 5 no enum ba ko no oda na wo freeze ni nyina na ebeden kra wa ko fie wa akoda.
Now when you are deputy attorney general trying to say saya sasa
eno na
aludi ha your friends
eno na Alessegbefia that man I respect him a lot wa can say mo say jail them will you be there forever or kasa chiro mo hwe the tape na echo around no Alessegbefia warns NDC members against targeting NPP officials efiti na no nyina Alessegbefia jail them will you be there forever munjeli wo mo no mo betena so akosi awiye mo anhwe ye de beto ye no because constitutional review ne say edru ba bia aban no ofiri so a within 4 years em fa no court afi what so abetimi de criminal and civil proceedings nyina atia no e de nakọ ebeye first time aban bi bese sansa NDC for anya very careful the first time I bet President Mahama de nakọ court no ofiri so a the first time political party bi beba the first person obedi ka targeting no president no we are not attorney general no do mo nyina agina court what you say any kwansa ye political persecution any kwansa ye anocracy but also the pepe ye na di enipa ni nyina Alessegbefia is not happy Dunkatia is not happy what you say even Haruna Idrisu onye happy about what is going on because President Mahama bae no nyina no ade pa me de bona ba so se waye pa kese ba ko ye achechire eno ya ade ba ko waye ana tema oil refinery a or revitalizing enema two way no waye
tamari oil refinery woni mo so revitalization na maintain no more at the time ayi fura dem tamari refinery no na ya wie the first part of the rehabilitation
okay
na ya ni Chinese contractor the central oil no na ya nu omo so aye ama almost aka operationalization go on the after na no wako cut sword say the second phase of the Central project and wako cut sword na the bank akufuado abrafu abuo ko soro no one of the measures I did to from ma ni ya pese ya brafu as say ya dwene say sa na tie dia sietimi eye revival Temaoyo refinery na ya ma Chinese for no yes Central no a you bet me refine oil no ayen yetu no Ghana because in 2014 2010 you had say yetu oil no the NDC ene Joma ama no mo ye ni say all the oil no ayen yetu no Ghana na just one side kwa ama no eno ma pa refine it is a refineries no let's say even a private person we will be able to sell the no wahano to ourselves na abua ama dollar swati because so at the cry the control dollar pa go for oil any local refinery na no said the be at oil refinery because it may be an see person ekotofuela e do Friday oil marketing companies no and the $2 no
oh okay
na o mama dollar no ashoto our system no mu enti say o pese we it is either you do it in the form of better trade it is say the near good and the kwaje oil no and now say o no o be kwa kwaje bio no they will get it on the local scene and o maji it is some tune ni we ni de do mama ni mu bali we ni mu bali we ba ya
a few moments for pipeline ben kola ye chance that gas to atlas or let's say we are
so regional tribunal is to say omoye na keke ade a ehu original tribunal ne say ma menkyere wade bi unim say can regional tribunal no so we the genesis or the history of regional tribunal na samre ye court no so na fraud de niam no koso ye aban mu mpanifo ne me ye te regional tribunal and the regional tribunal ne bae na ekoba say regional tribunal or current jurisdiction with the high court in the regional tribunal no ne high court nyina ye pe. And the purpose is some of the regional tribunal by saying decentralization. And the decentralization of high court said the ni nkurano as a district into the regional tribunal and beko. Now boom see. E come here say your high court to bebre. Your circuit court to bebre say so ampa. Ubetima create another high court and another circuit court because beko court there enyina no court there wa district court only high court or. E di ntini emfa bi court there ni circuit court kra. Obeba mamponchen kwabiri nyina district court entonso numu nyina district court any circuit court any high court o edi enti na won create another high court name o kofa one judge no kofa layman enipa 4 a omunsu amara na do ma betran so omene ni muman na omuwa enti say enipa 4 na futu o me de be ma judge ne no ode be tudwa na de dangerous wo mu ne say ono person of fix afi do say aban ne be point region ni nyina judges na be ba no eni nipa ne judge ne be ya adwuma aban ne be point na district ne de o da be ma judicial system hwe de aban ne person wo ye ne say obeload NDC for do ma ba be gu for no eni judge ne be everywhere it be do no so mu disika na omo kwa wo de ne ko gina sa regional tribunal na animu na eja omo na amom ko ekwa abra sa regional tribunal purpose bi na sa time yedi anti constitutional review ni si yenyi sa regional tribunal na nyeda emfiri ho biem because kwaya fa so edititi nipa ni bi ebu nipa ni bi kumfone ade no yenyi mfiri ho enti yenyi mfiri ho dia enne no e wo so hwe the dreams and the aspirations of the good people of Ghana ese sa abre no yegu so per regional tribunal enti de medema no sini de make can say justice so wa e kan asem bi what to for versus Attorney General. Because the national constitution is a living organism capable of growth in determining and I say interpreting any provision in the text or the national constitution. You have to give an interpretation that will meet the aspirations and the dreams of the good people of Ghana. Ghana, your dreams and your aspirations, and they say, you better go regional tribunal, man, be nipa and I say Ghana for high court, circuit court, into we create more at the account. It is all for regional tribunal, but they are necessary for old system. Although constitution not can reset, but Ediatina as a committee ne catch was a sa regional tribunal no emfiri ho eno de constitutional review ne de koma President Mahama until ma ko pass law no e so ba be regional tribunal
law better say ajman few moments akadolan kan sam ho yes baby our fuel prices cool bill and nka brewuma BEC results so private schools no sen kolada said you see fee no Friday obu the petition kwa koma education minister because obu to BEC results we there nya obu se the obu
been kura 24
sada wo ka sada wo
ka no botaye na aban no makoye meeting
aban ba the results na
kwa category A no school now why and say omon fa biti say opokuware secondary school omon fa 6 to 10 enti wunya ho a wunya biem ne de wakwa akurase omu school no masisi no enti the aban say felu ano ma feli ni nyina kire say de be ya okura obeka say me ba no wanya de enti me fa no konkosu adwuma said the bear free SHS na kana obebono
sentences quota do teso and private schools na no dem so obontia so obu bi do na mahama exams wey obo control ye die nya omo kola na
strategy
adai me yajima adai
asasi na ye calculate communism and abagana. Everything is pointing to one direction. Communist Ghana. What did them journal? Communism Bobema, me catch it all. Oh, feed them a catch or high. Never me and son, they will make everybody ignorant. Oh, so young crop ignorant. What do? You destroy educational system. And I'm a boy. Because I can say family values, they say they send this for almost and trone, conconsane, and my bonny as a family values. Oh, Kuruma. And see, we destroy education. We are now they are gathering information through. What did them journal? Enipa, sense of direction is as much as in Yama Winimu Utrim. So if you don't know anything now, sense of direction, nalo, analo yameboa. Enti, womo, see, Oka sounds why you say yacho. So now Omagag information. Information we are. See, Omo, I use tribunal system. Once the tribunal system is in a bar. Say Omagu the courting system.
Or the who be
the former tribunal Unui. It is the most corrupt institution. It is the most corrupt institution because any part for normal common and normal judges. Me, I don't want to mention him. Namni bidding kobo. Anybody a year. Sorry, dear Major. I know what panel so. Omopon, Yina, Yano being como your poem bomi no diatro. Bakudi made in Afreno. Bako Hanuman by a prominence is here again. What did they journal? Do you got another be much younger visitor? And while we are, the NDC will use the tribunal system at their room for as said, they're not Omuyusu PNDC time. Sakuna the woman Gracia, we are no
kangaroo courses. I don't know if kangaroo course there.
When a political argument, or be passing for Fubia Crat also, Edward Cotrona with the Agorabidum. And you wouldn't say a groovy no moody, and ya groovy no moody. Sorry, and John. Now, the idea how many say in the modern times and age, now you woman, the NDC air yinino. One here and funny, my papa, my Ghana.
Now, the echo idiot.
And funny, my papa, Ghana. Because Opim Bema, Opim who for Obertone Bema. And why we are.
If Ghanaians survived under J.J. Rawlings,
we are. Not a conference.
Yes, why?
In the Roboki, such tribunal system, the least said about it, the better. But, you know, the Jablefo, Papa be Jesus and Papa Boy and Temoho, a friend of Jablefo. Okaso we pie baller. Lawyers who in India can ball be near friend India can a jabber for get not against over pie ball. Bolly, wo ye dear, what is a calculate your man? Agree. Inca, a jabber phones was a ball now over pie. When your cast over pie, San obey. And the double key, San obey. Me can't fool once some cacara, Mr. Fool and send summer air coswo. Any affair, a digital in summer or cassette, a whom he say, a was say, ye dear, a manusem, we are since and semna, abba. I'd a near ma abanababian kaikum, and yanokore. Mo be an intum. Mr. Abusia for. If we are say, a dear mina na catch them, may say, Minana, me papa ma mina menene tonight. Say, Okasem na Okase debia, was your cousin Case debi. Na when you dry. Or say, what your bema, say, okay, some now sign the one of fat, some now sound we are only drying so seeing them. Because we dry puisa, once we puisa. It will cast mamma, Annie, your Annie, now Davy, your Davy. More catch and say, Ukraine, a year far from us. Russia, a year far from us. Ukraine, Russia, and Yantoka, ain't me, Magana, and Mekaye. Ananya sanu makaye. Ukraine, Russia, and to into Magana Mekaya. America is farther than Ukraine. And I'm Moma America no mukunto kwa Iran no, it is farther than Ukraine. I didn't know Mudu Munyantoka, and a day, a Vatican. And the movie again, mama yenka asem mu nokura nkyere mu omampanyin John Dramani Mahama wosisuwe wono ankasa atworo no ne book mu se ade ha no ne se ontime nwene fuwa nsensem ni amane a yewo mu sesi ayi nyina eye wono a oba politics mu wo Ghana enti no man ye fuwa adu ba bi adure eye omampanyin John Dramani Mahama adentira hwe na aban subsidize fuel pricing do be kaya makachiro say the fuel economy na do danko akufo ade ne Dr. Bawumia manage between 2017 and 2024 no there's no government, nobody in Ghana wa manage bi da men kan say Nigeria because they manage fuel and subsidize na price no largely controlled by the world price and the fluctuations in the on the market. What did they make sure no? Previously no, na John Mahama no be vice president no one when no. Na omai no use a lazy approach to managing the fuel. See a hwene say e coordinate ya ban between amunyai. That didn't call for any leadership. That didn't call for any innovative year. Na e was what this one no. And the catch them say John Mahama cannot manage the Dr. Bawumia ni. The nanado manage no. John Mahama cannot do it. And one must will be to me and we got no more buy 2 cities here was year free diesel. So this is not the first time. They have reduced it by 1 cedi before. Subsidy now. And say it yamra because they use subsidy in everywhere. Must 2014. Mona mama uncle Kosi Platinum everything video so it defend you vehemently. Say the be politics every fuel and semu no bia be yintu no ye deregulate the sector kula the downstream petroleum sector niema OMCs is na nkofo mu fuel no mra meton dollar ejensamo ni yaji ho yaji ho ayenye OMCs a na mo pe dollar de kokoto yi because previously na buy na kofo fuel ne ba na ye ba ya be so prama OMCs no wa ha ye ba o mu kwazo mu nkonkoye no ene duru Friday no mo pe dollar na to a na ama dollar ho aye na dollar e dwane kosa no Joma ma san betina chine na wo de ye campaign. You have been a president before. Why you mampanyi da you know the mess awo ye Emma World Bank country director e ka say obey we as wo hu mampanyi na what she emra bone e wo energy sector eja na nkrofo e che mampanyi Dramani Mahama abro be di ade 20 what say ka kire papa we say omaye what is here do obi atum wo US say wo so wo de wo betua facilitating bribe e de ama Ghana for be on the energy sector energy ye ba e na sie apart from ECG no so mpeso moton no enti Ghana for ye kan any binimenti. That is why me catch say I love lawyer say obekamu no kura kire amanfo and when they decide to say omo bepe bone no a na bone no time for